First, late developments in Iowa's Democratic caucuses. Results from Monday night's votes still trickling in, believe it or not. This morning, though, we are up to 97% of precincts reporting. Pete Buttigieg and Senator Bernie Sanders are nearly in a tie. Let's bring in national political correspondent for NBC News and MSNBC, Steve Kornacki. Went home, slept for about 45 minutes. He's back this morning and manning his post at the big board. Steve, where are we right now?
Yeah, I was here a little after midnight, and we got a massive change here in Iowa. You can see what it looks like. You just put it up there. 0.2% now separating Bernie Sanders and Pete Buttigieg. Let me show you what happened and why there really is a chance here that Sanders is going to overtake Buttigieg. The key is this number underneath the 26.2, underneath the 26. If you can read that, a 550 for Buttigieg and a 546 for Bernie Sanders. What this is the unit of measurement that they use in Iowa to determine the winner, to determine the national convention delegates. It is called the state delegate equivalent. The state delegate equivalent. Sorry to be so arcane here, but this is very important because this is how the winner is going to be decided. The margin right now is 4 state delegate equivalents. There are not many state delegate equivalents that are left up for grabs in Iowa. The reason why this got so close, the reason why Sanders has a chance is not to do with anything that happened on this map we've been showing you for 3 days. It has to do with, you remember these? The satellite caucuses. So on caucus day, on Monday, before everybody showed up at night for the regularly scheduled caucuses, they agreed in Iowa to hold meetings throughout the state for folks who had to work at night, for folks who had limitations that didn't allow them to get to their normal local precinct caucuses. They had a bunch of them, and they split them out by congressional district. There are 4 congressional districts in Iowa, basically 4, 3, 2, 1. It looks like this. They waited till this very end to release the results. Check out what's happened in 3 of them. We're missing one result. That's going to be key. Check out what's happened in 3 of them. This is the 4th congressional district. Bernie Sanders got 75%. Pete Buttigieg got 5%. Check out what happened in the 3rd congressional district. This is Des Moines. This is the biggest one. Check this out. 69% Sanders. You got to go all the way down here to find Buttigieg at 1%. Check out what has happened in the 2nd congressional district. This is the Iowa City College one. So more support here for Warren. But again, 53% for Sanders. You got to go past Klobuchar, past Yang, past Biden, past uncommitted. Oh, there he is. There's Pete Buttigieg. Wow. So you can see what this adds up to. Let me just do the math for you here. If you pretend roughly, this is my approximation of Iowa, but these are the 4 congressional districts. Sanders gained on Buttigieg 3 here in the 4th congressional district, 12 here in the 3rd congressional district, and about 5.5, we'll call it 5 here in the 2nd congressional district. He gained 20 state delegate equivalents from these 3 congressional districts. As I said, there is one left. The 1st congressional district, it's sort of the northeast part of the state. We're expecting to get that sometime today, hopefully sometime this morning. If the pattern we see holding in these other congressional districts, Sanders running away with it, Buttigieg not registering, if that holds, that is the possibility for Bernie Sanders to net another load of state delegates here that would put him over the top. And I can just tell you, it really is coming down to, we always say the cliche is it comes down to turnout. The number of state delegates that will be up for grabs in the 1st congressional district satellite caucus depends on how many turned out to vote. If it is 601 or more, it's going to be worth about 11 state delegate equivalents. If it is 600 or less, it's going to be worth 5.6. If it's 11, I think Sanders can get over Buttigieg statewide and can build up a big enough lead right there because there are some outstanding precincts here in Iowa that could come in. Buttigieg could still pick up a little bit here. If you get the 601 plus turnout, okay, I think Buttigieg can get that. If it's 600 or less, it is much dicier for him. And I can just tell you, we got some folks out there who are checking these precincts as they come in. Their best guess right now is that number is going to be right around 600.
Okay, so just to recap, if it hits that 601, Bernie Sanders takes the delegates, the delegate equivalents, which is how we measure a winner here. But also already, the Sanders campaign can claim victory based on the vote total, which is the first time we've seen that this year. They made that public. I don't want to jump ahead too far, Steve, but is it fair to say that these results will be contested either way based on what happens in a couple of hours with that one outstanding satellite caucus area?
Yeah, you can imagine if this thing ends up it's going to be tight no matter what. You've probably seen, if you're following this stuff online, folks are saying, hey, over here in this precinct, I saw this happen. Over here in this precinct, here's a picture of that's happening. The campaigns have an opportunity to lodge challenges, to lodge complaints with the state Democratic Party. I believe they have to do that by Friday. I believe then there is a period of 48 hours that the state party has to address it. So there's the possibility there that where this thing lands, there's still a couple more days there for looking into it. But you're right, just to put the number up, when you say Sanders and the popular vote, this has continued to grow. It is essentially 6,000 now. On the first preference, the folks who showed up, the advantage for Sanders has grown to 4 points, 6,000. And so the question at this point is, clearly he's going to finish on top there. The question is that state delegate equivalent, the one that's used for the check marks, for the official winner, for the national convention delegates. Does he also catch Buttigieg there? And wow, that is a barn burner. Is that what you call it? I guess.
Definitely.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.